What's up, guys? Chris of Chef Sports Cards here. We are doing 2021 Panini Baseball Absolute Blaster Case number 4. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have this on here just so you guys see that it's a full, fresh case. I don't have enough room on my desk to kind of make a big thing out. So I just wanted to show you that it's a nice, fresh, sealed case that we're doing. I'm going to pull it off to the side and empty it out real quick. So, okay, sorry for the extreme close-up. As you guys can see, nice, full, sealed case. So, let me put her off to the side here. And while I'm taking these out, we'll talk. What is going on, everyone? Chris of Chef Sports Cards. Thank you for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. We did one of these last week. It was a ton of fun. Nice, fun, cheap break. We got some great stuff out of it. Didn't seem to be as much interest tonight, but that's okay. You guys got some good deals, so hopefully, let's hope we find you some good stuff tonight. I do have one more of these we'll do in a week or two again. It's the fun break. But anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Especially if you're new to the channel, welcome. A little bit about us. We've been around for 5 years now. Almost 5 years now. We break mostly baseball, with a little bit of everything else mixed in. We ship ball cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading. And we ship as quickly as our little hands will move. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks, and when we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. So if you want a chance to get any of our future free breaks, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. All right, I'm trying to pile these without knocking them all over. Also, the website. So, we got 2 breaks left to fill on the website. I dropped the price dramatically on both of them. The Gypsy Queen break's now 15 bucks. The Diamond Kings break is 10 bucks a spot. We just sold like 10 spots during the last break. So, once we do the sellout, we sold the first 2 out. We have 2 more to sell out. Those 2, we're going to give away all this stuff. So every break, we give away Topps Chrome hanger to someone, and we give away a couple Father's Day packs. And then once we sell the 2 breaks out that are on there, we're going to take everybody, put them in a random, and give away a box of Topps Series 2. So never know, might find yourself a nice $500 Bobby Witt in there. So head on over to the website, chefsportscards.com. Prices are dirt cheap, less than what I paid, believe me. And I mean, the Diamond Kings breaks 10 bucks a spot. That includes shipping and tax. Hey, you could get a Babe Ruth cut for 10 bucks. Well, you can't miss out on that. Yeah. So head on over there. Spots are filling quick. We just sold like 10 spots in the last like 20 minutes. So, and once they're filled up, we'll break them. So I'm hoping they'll get filled and we'll break them like on Saturday or something like that. You know, I mean, they'll probably fill by then. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Maris R. Braves, Trey I. Orioles, Nick L. Red Sox, Ruth M. Cubs, Nick M. White Sox, Sam S. Reds, Nick M. Indians, Parker L. Tigers, Terry B. I'm trying to be specific. Indians, Guardians, depending on the year. Royals, Parker L. Astros, Eric M. Angels, Micah R. Dodgers, Parker L. Brewers, Jose V. Twins, Chris F. Marlins, Micah R. Mets, Matt B. Yankees, Micah R. And A's, Micah R. I'm sorry, my handwriting's terrible tonight, so having trouble deciphering it. Phillies, Richard J. Pirates, Todd H. Cardinals, Tammy U. Padres, Michelle S. Giants, Maris R. Mariners, Jason F. Rays, Tom P. Rangers and Blue Jays, Micah R. And Nationals, Maris R. So, if I got any of those wrong, I apologize. You guys know who you got. So anyway, all right, let's get to it. So the last week, what do we get? I think we get 3 or 4 autos out of the case, plus obviously a bunch of relics. We had a 1 of 1. We had some really cool relics. We have like a Jason Dominguez 6 relics. Let's see how tonight's holds up for us. Either way, it'll be fun. All right, do I have enough room to work here? 20 blasters takes up a lot of space. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. Corbin Burns and Ken Boyer. Kalenic Prospect. You're going to say 5 tonight, Chris? 5? Okay. Hey, man, I'll be down with that. These are fun, man. Like I said, I do have one more case of this. Probably do in a week or two. Trevor Bauer and Cal Ripken. We'll see. But you know what I never checked? I guess it's not coming out tomorrow because I would have been told it was on its way already. Trinity was supposed to be out tomorrow, but they must have backed it up. I haven't checked it for a few days. Nelson Cruz and Lindor Green. All right, Jose, let's see what you got. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Orlando in the house. Orlando's got to be a weird town to live in. Like, I mean, cool, but weird, like with all that nonsense down there. I mean, it's fun nonsense, don't get me wrong. Bichette Green, and there's a Kirilloff rookie green. I mean, obviously, if you like work at one of the parks or one of the tourist things or whatever, it's a great place to be. But it's got to be kind of a weird place to live with all that nonsense down there. A little bit of a thickie there. Let's see what we got. A thickie. Kybert. Let's see what we got. Just a regular one this time. All right, rookie threads. Kybert Ruiz for the Dodgers. For Parker. We had one. I'm hoping we get one. That one relic we had last week was sick. It was really sick. Glasnow and Pearson Green. Oh no, I was there about a year ago. I went to Universal about a year ago with my wife, my son, and my nephew. It was kind of. I left feeling like I completed something. I got my son to Orlando 3 times during his childhood. My son's 17 now, so he was 16 last summer. I felt like after we did the Universal thing, I did my duty as a father. I got him there to all the parks and everything when he was a kid. More than my parents ever did, I could tell you that. All right, Nelson Cruz, and there's another Kirilloff green rookie class. Oh, you work in a theme park? Oh yeah, you're a chef in the theme park. Nice. Which one do you work at? That's got to be brutal. Being a chef myself, I can only imagine. I don't think I'd want to work in one of those places. Harper, maybe in my early days I could have, but not now. There's no way. I couldn't put up with those people now. I knew when I graduated from culinary school, there was a whole group of guys I went to school with who all went down there after graduation and worked there for a few years. Glasnow. Now this was back, a long time ago. Ripken, like in the early '90s. You had a bunch of people from my class. I graduated from Johnson Wales University in Rhode Island, and back then going to culinary school was not what it has been in recent years. Back when I went, there was only a couple of good culinary schools in the country, and it was very odd that people went to culinary school back when I did it. But there you go. For Pittsburgh, Brian Hayes, 11 of 99 rookie class. But 2 real big things coming out of culinary school back then was the theme parks, like the Disney people, and cruise ships back then. And there was a whole group of guys and girls that I went to school with who went down there, and then a whole group that went and did the cruise ship thing, which I actually thought about and had a job offer from Clipper Cruise Lines coming out of culinary school. And that's a really weird life. And now I don't know if it's changed some since back then, but back then it was You know, like 6 months on, 6 months off, that type of thing. Rookie thirds, Minnesota, Brent Rooker, number 2, 199. 23 of 199 for Chris. Oh, it's SeaWorld. You're going to go to 410s? Well, that's, I would rather do, well, again, I never worked a job that had anything that structured, you know, and considering most of the days I've worked in my life have been 15 hours plus. But if I was on like a 40-hour a week schedule, I would definitely want 410s. Like, and get that third day off a week. Absolutely. It's 2 more hours a day. It's like nothing. You know, when you're already in that far, like, why not? But yeah, back in the day with the cruise ships, and like I said, I don't know how it works now. I'm assuming it's somewhat similar. But you used to go out, you used to get paid a lot, but you went out for like 4-month or 6-month stints, and then you'd come in for, you know, 4 months or 6 months or whatever it was. There's a Rosarena, 72 of 99 for Tampa Bay. The Brian Hayes was for Todd, and Tampa is Tom. But like, you would get paid a ton, you know, like to work that 6 months, 4 months, whatever it was. Jamie Foxx and Kalenic Green, and then basically come in and just party your nuts off for 4 months, 6 months, and then go back out. But when you were out, like, it was like prison. Like, I talked to a bunch of guys, knew so many guys who did it, and it's like you basically were like in lockdown for 6 months. You work 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. Koufax and DB Garcia Green, and you couldn't leave the ship, and for the most part, you couldn't even leave the like crew floor. When you were a chef, like you had to. So even on your day off, like even if they were in port, they weren't allowed to leave the ship. So you were. But like I said too, the money was pretty good. Basically, you were making a year's salary in 6 months. Goldschmidt and Campanella Green. So, yeah, for volume, I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's a 6 month commitment. I know back then they had a it might have been a different company that had the 4 month, but there was a few different ways you could do it. I knew one guy who did it for like 25 years. Matt Olson and Corey Seager, who loved it. Like, he loved that lifestyle. He lived in Fort Lauderdale when he wasn't out. And he would go out 6 months at a time, come home, hang out for 6 months, go back out for 6 months at a time. He loved it. So I guess if you're into it, Yeah, for volume, you can't beat it. I'll tell you a funny story. There's a nice one for Toronto. Nate Pearson. Triple Relic Auto Tools of the Trade. Numbered, is that 66 of 99? Yes, it is. 66 of 99. The Nate Pearson. Nice one. He's got Toronto. Toronto went cheap too. Micah. There you go. You can leave the ship now? Yeah. It's funny, Jose. So when I went to Johnson Wales in Rhode Island, Rhode Island was not, I'm trying to be polite about it, not a hotbed. It was, Providence is a very college town. Now, granted, I'm speaking of the early 90s too, so I'm sure a ton has changed since I've been there to live there. But back when I was there, it was basically a college town. You had all these universities there. And especially being a culinary student, if you wanted to have a job, there was literally like 3 good restaurants in the whole town. Like, everybody just went and worked independents, or worked corporate places. So I used to work. I was a kitchen manager at Red Lobster in college. Mookie Betts and Ryan Sandberg, and the one I worked at. This is back when General Mills used to own. General Mills used to own Red Lobster, and they owned Olive Garden too. And they were always, if you guys ever realized, they're always next to each other. because back in the day when they owned them, that's how they built them. They built them in tandem with each other. So anyway, Verlander and Pujols green. When I was finishing culinary school and I was interviewing with a bunch of different people, I was looking to go to like a top, like independent restaurant, and I was like embarrassed that I worked at, because when I was in high school, I worked at a country club and then I worked at like a regular restaurant and stuff. Like I had never worked in a like a real corporate environment. There's a Shohei green and Acuna green until I was in culinary school. And it ended up that Red Lobster I worked at was like the 5th busiest one in the country. We used to feed like 1,500 people on a Saturday night. It was nuts in that place. And I remember when I interviewed with all these people, they loved that I worked there. Candelario and Cabrian Hayes green, because of the volume experience. You know, like, it's one thing to be able to cook. It's another thing to be able to manage 1,500 entrees in a night, whether it was, you know, Red Lobster or whatever, you know. So there's something to be said. I don't know how old you are or where you are in your career, but there's definitely something to be said for getting good volume experience. For Texas, there's auto number 2, Sherten Apostle to 99, 67 of 99 rookie signatures. Sherten Apostle. Chris, you don't know, man. You might be right. We got 2 already. I'm telling you, man, I love this case that we do, man. It's awesome. Texas is Micah hitting another one. Darvish and Kabert blue. But yeah, I was thought like, oh yeah, I worked at Red Lobster. I was a restaurant manager at Red Lobster. But in hindsight, and that was back in the day when Red Lobster, everything was from scratch. Oh my gosh, that place was a monster to work at. Like, back then, all the shrimp, everything was like peeled by hand. You know, none of it came in pre-prepped and stuff like it does now. Oh, we used to have guys who would work split and peel shifts. That's all they would do for 8-10 straight hours of split and peel shrimp all day long. I mean, that was their job. I did one shift one time when I was in training. I swear I was going to hang myself. Sterling Marte and Frank Chance, like, you talk about, I've worked and seen a lot of really bad jobs in kitchens. And Jose, I'm sure you can attest to how bad some jobs can be in kitchens, but that one really was up there. Like, just come in, stick your hands in ice water for 8 straight hours and split and peel shrimp all day. You know, for about the first hour, it's okay. It gets a little old after a while. All right, Bichette green, and there's a Bobby Witt Jr. green. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. It's holding up on. I was senior kitchen manager at Trex in Disney. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Those numbers are nuts. I worked in steakhouses for a lot of years. Del Frisco's and Sullivan's. And I worked for them for like 11 years. This was, again, going back to the early 2000s when I left there. But Arenado and Mountcastle green. But it was the same kind of deal. Like this one Sullivan's that I worked at with them for a lot of years. Like, it was originally slated to do like $3.5 million, and we were doing like $14 million a year in that place. Like, you know, Monday night we'd serve 600 people. It was crazy, you know. Rizzo, green, and Freddie Freeman. And you definitely, it takes a certain ability to do that, you know. I used to love it. I'm too old for that stuff now, but back then I could do it. All right, and what do we got here? A little dual action, Miami and Washington. Miami is Micah, and Washington is Maris. So we're gonna have to do a little roll of the dice for that one. Luis Garcia and Lewin Diaz, rookie threads. Yeah, man, It's like a drug, man. I try to explain it to you. I hated the fact when I left restaurants. I mean, Pete Alonso and Nelson Cruz. I own my own company, and I have own cafes and we do catering and this and that. But I was a restaurant chef for 35 years, something like that. And even though I was so beat up, I could barely move anymore. Like I just couldn't keep up with the kids anymore. I miss it, man. It's like a drug. It's hard to explain to people. Yeah. But well, that's awesome, dude. So you've been down there for a while, then. Yeah, that's some serious vibe, man. 40 million in burgers and fries is Jesus. That's insane. Ken Boyer and Adley Prospect Green. Yeah, 600. Oh yeah, man. That's crazy. It's a Flaherty and Casey Mize Green. It's a business that's hard to. I was the last person of all the people I went to school with and stuff to still work in a kitchen. I mean, I still do work in a kitchen, but it's my own place, and especially since the pandemic, we're only open a couple hours a day, and I used to have 9 of them. I only have 1 now. The other ones are just sitting empty, but like everyone I know got out of the kitchen years ago. I just couldn't leave it. Ruth and Killebrew Green. Is SeaWorld its own like entity? Are they owned by somebody or like one of the bigger companies, or are they their own? I don't know that I've ever been to SeaWorld down there. I've been to the one in San Diego. Trevor Story and Goldie Green. I don't think I ever went to the one in Orlando. Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, I can't do those hours like I used to anymore. I mean, we still put some hours in, but not like that anymore. I couldn't even. It'd take me a couple days to just recover. For Chicago, Jonathan Stevers, a rookie for the White Sox. Sam. All right. Tucker and Georgia Brett Green. Yeah, me too. I've been married for about the same amount of time. Crazy. All right. What do we got? 13, 14. So we've opened 6 so far. That's it? Jeez. All right, you gotta get moving here. All right, we got Prism Football coming up next after this, if anybody's in that. Lowe and Alec Baum Green. And this weekend we got all kinds of stuff going on. We got a Bowman mixer. We got, I can't even remember off the top of my head. I got some Archive Sig series in. Some Series 2. Some Platinum, Topps Chrome Platinum. We got a lot going on this weekend. Vladdy and LeMahieu Green. And then also, so, if we get those website ones filled too, man, we'll do those too. Gil Hodges and Billy Martin Green. Busch Gardens, Aquata, Disney Cove. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, Discovery Cove. Oh, so that's all the same company? Gotcha. Yelich and Austin Martin Green. We haven't seen Wander yet, huh? Gotta find a Wander. Alright. God, I hate the thing on these. Bichette. And for Atlanta, Pache to 199. 188 of 199. Atlanta is Trey. Jeff McNeil and Pete Alonso green. Does your wife work there also? Does she work in the at SeaWorld too? Speak of the devil, there's Wander. Trey Turner and Tim Anderson green and a Wander prospect. Stremski. Tim Anderson and Miggy green. Alec Bregman and Ed Roush green. Yeah, well, this is a long way to go to the playoffs, my friend. Conforto and Garcia green. There's a long, long way before it should even mention the playoffs for the Phillies. Crawford, and for San Diego, Jake Cronenworth. For Michelle. Lazari and Marquez. All right, 12 to go. I think the only team that should talk about the playoffs right now are the Yankees. They could literally skip the month of August and still make the playoffs at this point, I think. DeGrom and Arenado green. It's like ridiculous. I was reading this article about them, about the Yankees the other day. Right now they're on track to win like 121 games or something like that. Like it's and for a team that honestly going into the season people were not chirping about. I mean, you know, look, I realize the last few years have been strange, you know, with the pandemic and Baez and A-Rod green. But certainly it's not like people were saying, oh, well, you know, the Yankees are going to be friggin' unbeatable this year. And they look that way. It's crazy. Blake Snell and Tatis green. Said I was reading an article like a week or two ago about when they hit 61 games. Or no, what were they at? Was it 61? 60 games. I think it was 60 games. They did a comparison between Judge and Roger Maris. The season Maris hit 61 home runs, and Judge was like blowing away his numbers already. It'd be nice to see someone go over. I know it's not the record anymore, but you know, Anderson and Machado. I always kind of think because of what people think of Barry Bonds, you know, whether you like him or dislike him, like that 61 is still an interesting mark, even though it's not the record anymore. You know, like a lot of people still kind of gauge things around that 60, 61 mark. So I think it'd be cool to see him do that. And then maybe it'd be time to sell some of the stuff I have. For Miami, Lewin Diaz, rookie threads. All right, come on, don't go cold on us now. Absolutely, give us some good stuff. Yankees probably cost themselves over $100 million not giving Judge that couple extra million. Yeah, that's true. Springer and Bobby Dahlbeck, green. Yeah, but for the Yankees, it doesn't mean anything. You know, that's their like. That's the thing. I mean, with the Yankees especially, the money is so skewed with that team. I mean, honestly, the Yankees could afford to spend 2 and 3 times what they do now on that team with no problem. Their network alone makes them more money than like 15 teams combined in the entire league. You know what I mean? Like that network makes them so much money. It's like they probably don't even care. Yeah. They got to give it to someone, you know. I mean, I'm sure they like to keep it, but still, it's probably not that big a deal to them. Giolito and Arozarena green. All right, Roush. J.P. Crawford and Max Scherzer green. You know, you do kind of wonder, like, it's funny you bring that up. I was actually thinking about this a week or two ago. So, and the reason I bring this up is because of Scott Kingery. I was going through some cards, and I have some Scott Kingery stuff that's graded and whatever, and I was like, man, I haven't paid attention to anything of Scott Kingery in a while. What's he doing? I looked him up, you know, he's playing AAA and this and that, whatever. And not well, mind you. And, you know, the Phillies gave him that big contract. What did they give him, like $52 million or whatever it was before he ever came up, you know? And everybody says, like, well, and look, like the Tatis deal, right? Machado and Reggie Jackson green. Like, San Diego probably saved themselves legitimately hundreds of millions of dollars by signing him to that deal. But does it make a guy complacent? Like, that's what I kind of wonder. Like, obviously there's positives from a dollar value for it. And of course, a team like San Diego that doesn't quite have the money that some other teams do. For Minnesota, 86 of 99, Alex Kirilloff, rookie auto. There you go, Chris. Nice one, buddy. Like, you kind of wonder, okay, here's a guy who signed a 13-year, 300 and whatever million dollar contract or whatever the thing was. I don't remember exactly what his deal was, but I know it ended up being like 23 million a year. His came down to Tatis's, which in hindsight you would assume is going to save that team a ton of money if Tatis continues, you know, to have a great career if he plays all those years and blah blah blah. You would assume that if he kept a regular contract and had to get renegotiated in a few years, he'd be making $35-40 million a year. And again, I'm assuming he's still an all-star and yada yada yada. Although by the time he comes back off the injury reserve list, he might lose a spot to Ha-Seong Kim, or they might have to move him to the outfield. But like, you do kind of wonder too, like, you get a young guy, 23, 22 years old, he's a phenom, you give him the big contract, which basically locks up his career. I mean, it doesn't, but, you know, ultimately it could. Does the guy like go, that's it? Salvi and Judge green. And again, I know these guys are competitors, they're athletes, they want to win, they want this, they want that. But you wonder if it's like, well, I made my money. I'm successful. I did what I was supposed to do. This is what I worked my whole life towards. Now maybe I don't have to work so hard for it, you know? Falafel and Jones at green. I mean, there's got to be something psychological to that, you know? Yeah, no, I mean, I look, they've all got issues. I mean, I get it. I'm not trying to bag on Kingery, but Kingery has had, yes, you're right. The old regime did screw him up, and he's had injury issues and this and that. Cabrera and Trey Turner. But I got to be honest with you, Savage. If they didn't give him that contract, if he didn't get that money that he got, I don't think Kingery would even be here anymore. I don't think he'd be a part of this team. And whether it's legitimate why his issues are, whether it's an injury, whether it's this, whether it's that, and I mean, I understand it's business. It comes down to money, but Nola and Bieber, and maybe that'll be his saving grace. Maybe in a year or so he'll be in better shape and better coaches and better this, and maybe it'll get him back to where he needs to be, and maybe that's what'll keep him going. But if he was still on a minor league rookie contract or whatever, I don't know that he'd necessarily be here, you know. And you do just wonder, like, subconsciously, guy gets to that big contract like that so early in his career, if in a way it doesn't hurt them a little bit, you know. Braylon Marquez for the Cubbies. I mean, you know, it's all if and who and what. I get it, but you see it more and more often. These teams trying to save themselves a lot of money in the long run, and legitimately they would. Especially that's for Nick. Especially if the guys, there's a Joe Adell. Wait, what's that? Oh, yeah, Joe Adell Green. Sorry, I looked red for a second. You know, legitimately, if someone like Tatis is a 15-year all-star, this and that, yeah, it's going to save the Padres a ton of money over time, but I don't know. Just wonder. Yeah. Who was I? Who the hell was that? I was just reading about the other day. Oh, God. I just find baseball especially to be so funny. Oh, shit. Who was that? I'm sorry. I was reading about someone the other day. God, I can't remember who it was. Not a Philly. Buster Posey and Torkelson Green. Oh, God, it's got to come back to me. He's a guy. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I'll tell it kind of without remembering the guy's name, but this guy, he's playing minor league ball. He's doing okay. He had a rookie card and this and that. God, who the hell was it? It's going to drive me crazy now. Anyway, he played fine in the minors, and he came up and he actually played in the majors, and he played fine. Griffey and Varsho Green. But nothing like he wasn't knocking the lights out or anything, but he was slashing like 270, blah, blah, blah down the line. He ended up going overseas and playing in Japan last year. I think it was Japan. And he did okay. He didn't have a great year. He didn't have a terrible year either. But his contract was only like $371,000 or something like that. And he just got dropped. Like, he got released over there. Nobody here was interested. Oh, I can't remember who it was. God. Nobody was interested in picking him up over here. And it's like, you see something like that and you think to yourself, well, if that dude's contract was $2 million, he'd still be playing somewhere, you know? Soto Green. Lazari Green. God, it's really making me mad that I can't remember who it was. He's kind of a big deal player a few years ago, but shit, I can't remember. I don't know. It's just it's always kind of amazing the things that play into affecting careers on guys. Edward Olivares, 147 of 199. For Parker. Hey John, what's up, buddy? Land drives don't matter. He came up this year. He told him land drives don't matter. He needs more watch anyway. Yeah, and it wasn't him. It's oh man, I can't believe I can't remember who it was. It's so funny too because I read like 3 articles on the guy and he was for no reason. I don't even know why I got into it because I was wondering where he was. Who was it? It's gonna drive me crazy if I don't remember who I was reading. I was wondering why he wasn't in the league, and that's why I went and started reading. That's when I found out he was playing in Japan. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me, but I don't know. I just wonder if there's something to it. I mean, baseball's not football. It's not hockey. It's not the other sports. There isn't the violence that there is and the extreme possibility of injury like there is in other sports. There's a Wander Green. So I suppose you're not taking as much of a risk by signing a guy to a really long-term contract even before he's technically a rookie, in the hopes that you're going to, save yourself a lot of money in the long run, but just shows you how much money they have to burn. Kenta Maeda and Joey Bart Green. Kyle Hendrick and Hodges. A sick Lou Bob, huh? I don't know that this is the best year for sick Lou Bob, but we'll see. Maybe. Let's see what we can find. I will try my best for you, my friend. Merrifield and Chapman. Another duel. What do we got this time? 2/199 Jo Adell, Evan White. Angels in Seattle is Micah, and Seattle is Jason. So we'll have to random that guy at the end. That's 102 of 199. Griffey. Ripken and Chris Bryant green. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's not, it's usually 52 earned runs over 3 games in past years. Correa and Jim Thome. I, of course, am being facetious, but, one of our biggest problems in Philly has been our bullpen for a long time. It's a long season. I can't, I have a hard time getting locked into anything until September. It's fun to watch. I love watching it, but we're only at, what's the date today? July 7th. A long way to go, my friend. Campanella. Mike Trout green and Trevor Bauer. There's a Lou Bob Extreme Team on the back. That's true. All right, Hendrick, Merrifield, and for the Yankees, Clark Schmidt, rookie threads. Come on, man, give us some patchy action. Yanks is Micah. There you go. All right, Bieber and Madrigal, rookie for the White Sox, green. All right, 6 to go. Joe Jackson and Clayton Kershaw green. Shohei. Colin Moran and Verlander green. We need is another 101. Come on, baby. Give us another 101 from last week. A runaway. All right. Walker Buehler, and there's a Robert Extreme Team green. Hoskins and Pache green. Mookie, and for Arizona, Pavin Smith for Maris. Votto and Patino. All right. 3/4 of the way through. 5 boxes to go. Yeah, what do we have? 3 right now? I think that's what we had last week, right? Wasn't it 3 last week? But like I said, we had some other stuff last week too, so hoping we find. Tatis green and Royce Lewis green prospect. It's so strange how they pack cards. Like, we didn't have any duels last week, dual rookie pat relics, and now we have 2 of them this week so far. Miggy, Bryant and Jimmy Fox green. Xander and Whit Merrifield green. And for Minnesota, Ryan Jeffers, rookie threads 167 of 199. Come on, man, you gotta give us some patches. Patchy action. For Chris, here you go, buddy. Yastrzemski and Yogi Berra green. Alright. What time is it? 11:21. No, I didn't see it. Who won? Did Joey Chestnut win again, or who won it this time? I always miss that. It's one of those things I always hear about afterwards. Those guys are nuts, man. All those professional leaders are crazy, dude. I don't know how they do that. It's you just that's like a special skill, man. Judge and Sandberg. That's like that chick who was so good for so long. The Black Widow or whatever her name was. And her big thing was, and again, for anybody who's not from the Philadelphia area, we used to have this thing called the Wing Bowl. I mean, it's pretty popular. A lot of people know about it, and it went on. It was this guy who's on the radio, this big sports talk guy who does like the morning show. It was his thing, and they do it the week before the Super Bowl. And what started out as Darvish and Pujols, what started out as kind of a joke, 30 years ago, turned into a major. It was a major thing every year. They filled up like the Wells Fargo Center for it. It was nuts. The whole thing was just debauchery and craziness. And the whole point of it was a wing eating contest. And Verlander and Acuna Green, maybe 10 years ago. They haven't done it in a couple of years now because I don't know. I think after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they stopped it, I believe, because it all had some kind of tie-in to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't remember, but Shohei and Ke'Bryan Hayes Green. Anyway, so like 10 years ago, this little Asian woman shows up there and like destroys everyone. And at this point, it was a pretty big contest. Like they were getting guys from all over the world who were like professional eaters who were coming and doing this. If any of you guys have ever seen this, I can't think of her name, but she used to go by the Black Widow. For the White Sox, Luis Gonzalez, 73 of 99 rookie auto. But she was like, she would come in and eat like 400 wings, and she weighed like 85 pounds soaking wet. This chick is huge. Yeah, no, Cataldi. I know it's Cataldi. I'm talking about the girl. I can't remember her name. She went by the Black Widow, but I can't think of her name. And then since then, there's another woman who became, he's retiring. I just heard him talking about it this morning. Mookie Betts and Kyber Ruiz, which is all right with me. I'm not a huge Angelo Cataldi fan. I think he's a jerk. There was another woman who started a few years later, came in and was incredible too. And she was like this, again, just slight, petite thing. And oh God, like where do you must have a hollow leg or something. Yeah, Angelo Cataldi is retiring, which is just fine with me. Trevor Story and Tim Anderson. Wander Franco prospect on the back. On the pile. Kobayashi, yeah. And there was that was like that the Asian guy he's still who would win the hot dog eating contest. He was like skinny as a rail, that dude. I'm a big guy, man. I'm like 6'4", 270. Like I'm a big dude. I've been a big dude my whole life, and I couldn't eat 1/10 of what those people eat. Tim Anderson and Ed Roush Green. Like, there's got to be something special to what they're doing. I don't know what it is, but or they're just able to endure some extreme discomfort. I can't imagine what you feel like after doing that. It's got to just be horrid, I mean, I assume the second they can, they just go and throw it all up or whatever. But I can't even imagine trying to pack that much food in my stomach. It is fun, though, that's for sure. And for Atlanta, Contreras, 162 of 199 for Trey. Turner and Marquez, green. Yeah, I am not. Angelo Cataldi, I avoided most of my life for a reason. He just annoys me. I mean, he's been a huge figure in Philly sports and everything. I get it. And But there's just something that really bothers me about that guy. I don't know what it is. I hate his show in the morning. I can't stand it. Like, I don't. I know he's an institution or whatever, but I can't even stand to listen to his voice. Candelario and Drew Waters. But he's been around for a long time, that's for sure. It's funny too, because I just happened, I was going to work this morning, and usually I have a, I drive a Ford F-150, so I have like the Apple CarPlay thing that's always in use, Acuna and Cronenworth. But for anybody who has a car like that, like if you don't play it, like it'll automatically switch over to the radio, And it did that on me, and they were talking about him retiring, and these people are calling in tears, like, "Oh my God, you can't!" I'm like, dude, he's a guy on the radio. Relax. Woodruff and Mookie Betts. I don't think he's always represented the town in the best light. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. Like, I don't know. Like, our sports have enough problems in this town with people and the way they think about Philadelphia and stuff. I don't think that dude's helped any. Martinez and Kettle Marte. Although when he was in the race and he ripped both of his Achilles heels, that was hilarious. I mean, I don't laugh at anyone's pain. I wasn't happy that he was injured. I just thought it was so funny because of the build up to that whole thing was such a big deal. For Arizona, dual relic, Pavin Smith, Andy Young for Maris. Who did he race? He was racing someone. They talked about it for months. Like he was going to be in this race with, I forget who the hell it was. This was years ago. And he was going to win. He's all bluster, this guy. He's like kind of typical talk, sports talk guy, like, hey, yo, real kind of South Philly Rocky kind of sound to him, And he was racing someone. I don't even know how it came about. Some stupid, radio prank or whatever. And he goes out to do the race, and he's like literally like 50 feet into the race, and he tore both of his Achilles tendons. Like, and again, I'm not laughing at the guy's pain. It's just like they had this huge buildup, and like, it was like watching the big fight, and the guy gets knocked out in like 12 seconds. Yeah, I don't listen to sports talk in Philadelphia at all. I can't. I can't. It's the same 4 questions over and over and over again. It is so annoying. Like it's just unlistenable. Why is that? That is so blue. Oh my God. Yeah, sports talk in Philadelphia is like completely unlistenable. And these guys and I know all sports talk does this because they need to have topics to talk about. And, there's the guy who always disagrees, but, he doesn't really disagree. He just needs to, do it like a kind of a point counterpoint type of thing. And for Minnesota, Kirby Puckett Icons, 40 of 99. But I don't know. I mean, I assume all sports radio, when it's localized, is the same way. It's just the same topic over and over and over and over again, and it's just like, oh my God, all right, I've heard enough, So like any type of like sports talk I listen to is usually more national, because at least you're getting, different opinions, different people, this, that, whatever, The only people I like are, what's his name, who just retired from the paper? Tatis and Scherzer, and his buddy on Saturday, the one who's from Havertown. I can't think of anybody's name right. Glenn McNow and shit, what's his name? The guy does the Eagles for years. I can't even think of his name now, but. And for the White Sox, 72 of 99. Nick Madrigal, nice one there. You hit it on the head, Chris. Diddinger, yeah, Ray Diddinger, thank you. He was awesome. He and Mac now together were really good. I like them a lot. But they didn't, because they weren't that way. They didn't talk that way. They just, half the time they just talked about whatever. It wasn't even about sports. They just talked. Very nice Madrigal. Alrighty. And Machado and McKenzie. Chris, I think you hit it on the head with 5 autos, right? 5 exactly. All right. Let's do a couple of randoms real quick. We're just going to roll a die for these. So, the top is going to be even. The bottom is going to be odd. We're going to roll 1 dice. Whatever comes up is who's going to get it. So we got the Angels on top, which are going to be even, and Seattle on the bottom, which is going to be odd. Here we go. And that is a 1, which is odd. So it's going to Seattle. And I got to write it down. 1 second. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't listen. I don't listen to him on Saturdays for an hour or so, so I don't even listen to him that much anyway. But all right, Seattle. Hey Chris, can you do me a favor and put a message up in the Prism Football? That'll be there in we'll start in 5 minutes or so. All right, same deal. Evens up top, odds on the bottom. Here we go. It's now, a 1 again. 2 1s, odds again. So this time it's going to Miami. All right, so we got Miami on this one and Seattle on this one. All right, let's put a quick hit recap together, and then we will get out of here. 4. I think we hit 5 autos right on the nose, right? These, of course, will all be top loaded. I just didn't have enough 130s up here with me right now, so. All right. Wow, White Sox did okay. 2 autos out of this thing, plus, and one of them was a Madrigal. Alrighty. All right, we're doing a hit recap for 2021 Absolute Baseball Blaster case number 4. A couple of numbered cards we got. Arozarena to 99, Ke'Bryan Hayes, rookie to 99, and Kirby Puckett Icons to 99. We had a couple of the top prospects like Bobby Witt, Wander Franco greens, which will make sure they get top loaded, along with any of the top rookies. All right, relics. On the 2 randoms, we had the dual Angels Mariners, which went to the Mariners, and then the dual, Washington Miami, which went to Miami. And then our other relics, if I can keep them together. All right, Braylon Marquez for the Cubbies, Lewin Diaz for Miami, Cronenworth for San Diego, Pache for Atlanta to 199. Stiver for the White Sox. Stay there, man. Brent Rooker to 199 for Minnesota. Kyber Ruiz. Dual Andy Young and Pavin Smith for Arizona. William Contreras for Atlanta to 199. Ryan Jeffers for Minnesota to 199. Pavin Smith, not numbered for Arizona. Clark Schmidt and Edward Olivares for Kansas City to 199. And then autographs. We had a few good ones. We had Alex Kirilloff to 99 from Minnesota. Rookie auto. Nice one there. Thanks, Chris. Sherten Apostle to 99 on the rookie signatures. Nate Pearson with the triple relic auto to 99. Tools of the trade. Luis Gonzalez for the White Sox to 99, and a Nick Madrigal for the White Sox to 99 also. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Please go hit the website. Super cheap spots over there, $10 and $15. Let's get them filled. I want to get those done and do some giveaways and have all kinds of fun. ChefSportsCards.com. I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, hit that like and subscribe and have a great night. Take care. Bye.